With the appearance of AI tools, LLMs, MCP servers, skills, these days everyone is interested in what tool can do what things. I have explained in previous videos about modeling MCP server for Power BI, about skills for Fabric. In this video, I'm going to talk about Fabric Core MCP Server, an MCP server that gives you ability to use some of the APIs related to the Fabric, and you can do interesting things with it. You can, for example, set up row-level security, and the demo that I'm going to show you, I'm going to first scan my workspaces, find which objects I have OneLake Security set up, and I'm going to create some roles for my OneLake Security, all using AI Copilot, GitHub Copilot, with the help of Fabric Core MCP Server. My name is Reza Rad, and in this video we are going to have a look at that. There are multiple MCP servers available for Fabric and Power BI, and there are different skills available. In this video specifically, I'm going to talk about Fabric Core MCP Server. Fabric Core MCP Server is a set of APIs. MCP Server literally is a set of APIs, but they are written in a standard that AI tools, AI assistants can consume. So instead of like writing a program to use those APIs, you use AI. AI understands the standards of MCP server and it uses those APIs. So we don't call them APIs anymore. We call them MCP server. And Fabric Core MCP server is actually a group of MCP servers that gives us capabilities to do things in Fabric. There are MCP servers for OneLake structure, there are MCP server for data factory, and these are all combined in Fabric Core MCP server. The way that you would use it is that first you need to have a AI tool of your own choice. In this video, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code as my development environment and GitHub Copilot as my AI assistant. But you could use Cloud Code, you could use Codex. It doesn't really matter which of these you go and use it. Same MCP server can be added in any of these. So I'm going to share my screen, this particular web page that I'm going to bring. So to understand how MCP server works, you can go and search Fabric Core MCP server. It brings up this MS Learn web page that has all the instruction, even the instruction of how you would go and install it. For example, these are the process that you would take. And when you install this, this will be added in your, in my case, in VS Code and GitHub Copilot. So from that point on, I could just use this. So I'm going to show you this process, although I have this installed, but I'm going to show you this process and we are going to see how this is going to work. Okay, to show you the process, when I'm in VS Code, and you can download it, it's a free tool, you can press Ctrl-Shift-P. Ctrl-Shift-P will bring you this command palette, and here you can type things such as MCP add server. And when you do that, it brings up this, that it asks you which server to add. Then in this case, Fabric Core MCP server is an HTTP format. You'll go and add that link over here. I'm not going to add that because I have already created this, so I'm going to use it. But this is pretty much the process. After this, it will start authenticating. It will add it to your MCP server list. And as you can see here in the side, I have Fabric Core added, and I have added multiple versions of it. That's why you see multiple options here. Then you can click on the setting and start the server. Once you start the server, this will be available for you to just go and use, as simple as that. So the MCP server is running, Fabric Core MCP server. I'm going to try out some prompts here. So first I'll open this prompt window to become bigger, and I'll ask things such as list my Fabric workspaces. This will be using the Fabric MCP server and querying those information. Okay, Here it is. You can see those information. I can also check if I'm using the MCP server or not. When they click on configure tool, you see that I have multiple MCP servers, but this one is enabled, and you see all the different tools under that. There are tools for OneLake configuration, there are tools for data factory, searching the catalog, all of those. But I don't need to mention that. As long as I ask the prompt, this will know that it is going to use that. So these are a list of my workspaces. I can then say in fab test Radacad workspace, which of the lake houses has custom OneLake security role enabled in it. And if you watched my previous video, I talked about OneLake Security, how you can go and set up those roles. This is actually using that demo to continue. So it found the workspace. It is going to search all the lake houses in that workspace. You can see that it is actually using the MCP server. I'll go up there. You can see that it is using the MCP server for all of these configuration. So down at the bottom, it is still analyzing this. First, it will scan all the lake houses, and then it will try to find which lake house has that configuration in it. So here you can see that it tells me the fab test Radacad, this lake house, RLS test AW, is the one that has this role. And I can even ask what is the criteria for this role, so that it can tell me what is actually defined within this role. And here you can see actually the query within that role, which is quite interesting. It tells me that the dim geography table has an English country region name, and these are the countries. So this means that this role, or whoever is the member of this role, has access to these countries, which is quite interesting. Now, one thing to note is that all of these configurations work so far without me having my Fabric capacity enabled. If I bring this window up here, you can see that my Fabric capacity is actually paused. But all of these information, because they are actually searching in the catalog, they don't need Fabric capacity to be enabled to be working. But from now on, because I want to make some changes, this will require Fabric capacity to be enabled. So I'm going to start the Fabric capacity, and while this is starting, I'm also showing you that configuration at the same time here, so that you can see how accurate this is bringing those. So this is the same lake house. As you can see, this is the same lake house that I have, RLS test AW. When I go to manage OneLake Security, I should be able to see exactly that role. Here it is, the role. If I go under the tables, dim geography is the one that has RLS in it. And when I click on row level security, I see exactly that condition. So it managed to give me all of those, which is fantastic. I can use this for documentation. But the interesting example I want to show you is even further than that. Let's say I want to change this. Instead of in this setting, when I go to, let's say, dim geography, I have multiple countries here. So there's a country for Australia, for France, Germany, UK, all of these. So let's say I want to do this role level security setup in real world. I want to create one role per each country and give users access to this. And I might have like hundreds of countries. In my case, it is just 6 or 7, but imagine this scenario, and using AI for doing something like this is fantastic, because you don't have to manually go and create it. So let me see if AI can help me create that. So I'm going to ask this that create one custom role for each country value, or let's just use the same field name. For each value, so the member of that role can only see that country. Okay, so this means that this should create as many as English country region name values that I have over there. So first it is going to get a distinct list of those, I imagine. And after that, after it gets that, it is going to create the role. So I'm not only querying the data, I'm also changing something with this Fabric Core MCP server, I'm asking AI to go and make some changes, which is what we are going to see how it is going to work. So you can see that this is going to use the APIs. As I said, Fabric Core MCP server or any MCP server, it is actually a set of APIs, but with standards and definitions that AI system can understand. Okay, so you can see that it says that it created those roles, it created all of these roles. So as you can see, it says that for Canada, Australia, France, Germany, for each of these, it created the role. I can actually go and see how this is working actually. When I come here and when I go to manage OneLake Security, I should be able to see all of those roles, which is interesting. You see all of these roles, one for each country. And imagine if I had 1,000, it would have created that for me. And that is what AI is good for you to do, creating like mundane process instead of doing that. So now I'm going to see if I can change that membership. So at the moment, I'll bring that user configuration here as well. So this is that user look of the report before making any changes. So before, as you saw, it had access to United States and UK. Now I'm going to change that. I'm going to say I want this to have access to some of other rules. So based on these role definition, now I want Reza at reza.ppu@radacat.com to have access only to Canada, Germany, and France. Let's see what this will do. So this needs to go and add that user under the member of each of these. Obviously, the best practice is to do it using security groups and things like that, but I don't have security group for my example here. I'm going to just use that sample user. So previous view of the report was like this. I'll just bring that again. This is the user who has access to US and UK and all the states within those, $12 million total sales. After this, we are going to see how this is going to change. So it is saying that this user is now added to these roles, and the user who has been previously as part of the other role is not a member of that. So it's already taken care of those. Okay, I'll go to manage OneLake Security. These are the roles. For example, I'll go into the Canada. First, I'll check what is the role definition in the Canada. So this is that dim geography. I can go to row security, and it actually written that expression for me. So that is correct expression. The other thing I want to check is that who is the member of this role, and Reza PPU is a member of that role. But if I go, for example, to Australia, I didn't say Australia this user should have access to, so I'll go to Australia. Under members in this role, I don't see that member. When I go to that report from the user point of view, the user who had access to UK and US before, now if I refresh the same report, I should see only those 3 countries that I mentioned in those role of a security setup, which was France, Germany, and Canada. Here it is, France, Germany, and Canada. Total sales, $7 million. All the states of these countries are also listed. So what I have managed to do in this example was to use Fabric Core MCP Server, some of the OneLake APIs available in it, to not only scan what is my role configuration, my role level security configuration, but also to go and change it. I could have gone and created thousands roles. Even in a static role level security configuration, it is easy because AI is going to create that, and it is going to create it really nicely without any errors or anything like that. So this was an example of Fabric Core MCP Server. There are plenty more things you can do with Fabric Core MCP Server. You can use it for documentation. You can use it for creating data factory objects, changing your data factory objects, monitoring it, all the OneLake structure, and there will be more MCP servers underlying connecting to this in the future. I highly recommend you to go and check this out, Fabric Core MCP Server, play with it. If you have any comments about it, put that in the comments below. My name is Reza Rad. I'm part of the Radacat team. We do create videos and content about Fabric and Power BI, and especially the AI usage of this. I hope you like this video. Until the next video, bye.